Hi there, this is Ricky. This is my first video on my channel, so if you're watching this, I welcome you here. I just wanted to start this channel off by stating that I will soon be disfellowshipped as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And I just wanted to start off this first video of hopefully more I'll be making, my journey out of the Watchtower. So about 3 to 4 months ago, I heard about a court case involving Jehovah's Witnesses. It's I guess pretty popular on the internet, which I've come to find out that was the Candace Conti case back in 2012, and how she was awarded $28 million. And so that kind of outraged me, that $28 million of donated funds of the brothers and sisters were paid to a girl, well, now a woman, when she was a young girl, molested by someone in the congregation because the situation was not handled correctly. And I come to find out about the two-witness rule in a case in my own family recently, and so that really struck a chord with me. Not only that, the way it was handled, but that $28 million of donated funds were given to her. Not saying that she didn't deserve it, she certainly did, but as members who give to the church, we should have a right to know where our money is going. There's brothers and sisters in Africa that live on $1 a day, and they donate money unbeknownst to them to people who have been molested by those in the congregation. So this really bothered me. I really couldn't stomach it, especially after an incident that happened in my family with one of my nieces. And I don't know how I would react if it happened to my daughter. Now, I don't want to get much into that. So when I started investigating that, I saw that this was not a one-time deal. There have been many children that have been molested in the congregations, and the perpetrators have been protected because of the two-witness rule. So at this point, I started looking around at some more cases, and I came across a link that said Jehovah's Witnesses were members of the United Nations. Now, as a Jehovah's Witness, we are encouraged not to look at any of these false propagandas or anything like that. But if it's true, it's true. You can't deny the truth. So I looked at it, and I've realized that while Jehovah's Witnesses, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, was a member of the United Nations for 10 years. So in disbelief, I wanted to do some further investigations to see if this was really true. At this point, I couldn't put my faith in something that I read over the internet. So I started looking around, investigating it more and more. And the more evidence that I saw, the more I realized that everything that was said was true. Now, I did not want to try and share this information with my wife, who is a devout Jehovah's Witness, because I knew that she was going to be as affected as I was, and I didn't want her to have the sleepless nights, the no appetites, not eating, not being yourself. And she picked that up, that for a couple of weeks I just wasn't myself anymore. And so she asked me what was going on, and so I shared with her first the Candace Conti case. And like a well-armored Jehovah's Witness machine that she is, she combated those things with We don't know the full story. And Jehovah will take care of it in his own time. And so I left it at that. Even though I wasn't satisfied with that answer, I left it at that. A couple of weeks go by, I'm still not the same. I stopped watching TV at this point. TV was irrelevant in my life because I needed to find answers and I needed to find truth. And so I stopped watching TV, and my wife picked up on that, and she again asked me, what's going on? You're on your iPad, you're on the computer all the time. And so I told her that I found out about the United Nations and that this really bothered me. And so she had invited me to ask my brother, who is a member, a Bethelite elder in New York, to see if he knew anything about it, because I was really disturbed at this point. And so I emailed him and attached the letter of the United Nations that they sent out in regard to the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society being members. And he called me back, and the first thing he asked is, where is this information coming from? So that kind of just stuck in my head, that saying, where did this information come from? And I'll get to that in another YouTube video. But he assured me that he didn't know for sure if they were or they weren't. But I knew for a fact that he knew, because he basically restated everything that I had found out. That they maybe used their membership for the library, and that maybe they use it for helping in third world countries. And so I knew that either he knew or he asked someone how to respond to that. And so I just kind of let it go from there. I didn't want to speak to him because I knew he wasn't telling the whole truth to me. At this point, my faith has pretty much been shaken. I feel like I've been lied to. I feel like a spouse that was cheated on. And I really didn't want to have anything to do with the Jehovah's Witnesses at this point. I felt that it was very hypocritical of them to be members of the United Nations for 10 years and to say over internet responses that this was no secret. Well, it was a secret to 8 million Jehovah's Witnesses. And so at this point I started doing a thorough investigation on pretty much every belief that I've ever thought about, and every belief that I put my faith in, my full trust and faith in these men, the governing body. And I start seeing glaring discrepancies, false teachings, errors. And it was almost in an arrogant way in which they do admit errors, and they even, put the blame back on you. If you're one of Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't accept responsibility. They put the blame back on you for false prophecies, false dates. And so at this point I'm pretty much ready to give up my religious ties to this organization. But unfortunately, I've been married. Unfortunately, I have too many ties to this organization. Leaving is going to be at a great cost to me. It's going to destroy my family life. It already has. I'm going to be disfellowshipped next Thursday. My children have been raised Jehovah's Witnesses, and so I can only imagine how this is going to throw their world upside down when Dad tells them that he doesn't want to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And all of my immediate family are Jehovah's Witnesses, and they of course judged me upon finding out that I had a judicial committee, judged me as being unworthy of everlasting life. And so they pretty much already have nothing to do with me. But my time is running out. I think we have 10 minutes, and I'll get back to another recording probably later today.